So in this video, I'm going to explain the terror management theory of self-deception, which I think accounts for the bulk of self-deception in human life. The only major theory of self-deception that I'm currently aware of is Robert Fryber's. He posits that self-deception developed evolutionarily to better deceive others. The idea is that by lying to myself and believing my own lies, I am more convincing in lying to others because I'm not giving out secondary signals. Like if you are aware of your lies, you may be extra nervous, sweating, blinking your eyes or whatever it is. And he gives examples like a gorilla who's trying to appear more dominant than he is, and so on. Now, this theory may have some truth for various animals and even for Homo sapiens, but as I will show, it does not account for the bulk of the self-deception that we see in daily life and which is quite pervasive. So the terror management theory of self-deception basically is grounded on terror management, which says that when we got this big brain and we got our self-awareness, we became aware of the end of self, of our animal insignificance, of our finitude, and that led to quite a strong anxiety, a crippling anxiety, in fact. And so, in order to counter this anxiety, humans had to create frameworks that would give them the illusion of being individuals of value in a world of meaning, tranquilizing illusions of self-worth. How was this done? Well, it was done through the pursuit and attribution of undue meaning and value through culture. In other words, you create these frameworks of meaning, which we call cultures, and if you live by the standards of the culture that you subscribe to, then you can gain self-esteem. Obviously, if you are living up to the standards or exceeding the standards of a tribal society in Africa, let's say you're a good hunter, a spear thrower, whatever it is, that may not provide you self-esteem if you are working in the culture of Wall Street, right? The the spears that are thrown are a little different over there. So, no, it's culturally relative. And in today's society, I mean, we could look at what hunter-gatherers did as far as their culture and the kind of activities and beliefs they had, but just to look at modern society, which we know best, the kinds of attributions and pursuits of undue meaning and value, exaggerated value, created value, concocted or trumped up value and meaning, come through a series of layers, or rather, um, chunks or slivers of cultural reality. This starts out with religion as the biggest sort of attempt at giving humans value. I guess you could call it cosmic importance or cosmic significance. Like I could say, I'm filled with the infinitely significant, infinitely important Spirit of the Lord, right? And that would be religion. Then nations, money, progress. These are the sort of medium type slivers that I guess you could say that are now more prominent than even religion. If I tell you I'm a good American or I'm a good Mongolian with a lot of wealth contributing to the future of my country, to the future of humanity, well, that pretty much gives you an idea of the kind of ego or self-esteem enhancement you get through the pursuit of these memes. Then you have on the next level of smallness, things that are smaller, although of course all these various levels are interlinked in all kinds of ways, since usually the big establishes the small and the structure is interlinked. So jobs, hobbies, social circles, family. So by living up to the standards of the jobs that are considered valuable in society, well, you gain self-esteem, maybe through your hobby as well, your social circle, and certainly your family as well. If you are somebody who's married and maybe has children, all those things bring a certain social or cultural status to it. I could say I'm a I'm a proud software developer, cake decorator, and beer buddy, and I'm a proud father with a great wife, and we have all these pictures that we took when we got married in a very official ceremony, attended by everybody, and I posted them on Facebook, and I got all these likes when I did that. Well, that would be a sort of a small example of the kind of self-esteem enhancement that you get through these other, let's call them smaller slivers of cultural reality. Then you have day-to-day triviality. I could feel proud of my new sweater, or I wrote a phrase that was smart, or I said a phrase that was smart. Maybe I feel proud of, I don't know, doing my grocery shopping in 10 minutes instead of the 15 or 20 minutes I usually take. Maybe it is. Maybe it is arguing with somebody over whether something is an orange or a mandarin. Really investing my ego in that debate. Why, you stupid? I mean, that's an orange, man. Have you ever never seen an orange before? That's not a mandarin. That type of thing. Basically, trivial stuff, small stuff that humans invest themselves into, and then they can either feel good about or actually ashamed about. You could obviously also wear a sweater that makes you feel ashamed because it's not complying by the standards of society. So these all these levels, like I said earlier, are interlinked and all provide two major or general contributions to the human psyche. One is future legacy, in other words, by let's say doing all this small stuff, wearing sweaters of this kind, or writing this, or taking so many, and I think, well, people are going to remember me a certain way. He used to do this. He was a nice guy. He was X, Y, and Z. Jobs, hobbies, social circles, and family obviously also can provide some type of legacy, remembrance, certainly your contribution to a nation, uh, money, progress. And religion obviously actually gives you not only symbolic immortality, but literal immortality. The culture generally lives on after your individual death. So by contributing to it, you're contributing to something that that has a future beyond you, and so you can have a legacy by contributing to it. Again, a sense of symbolic immortality, or in the case of religion, once again, a literal immortality, life in heaven, a bunch of virgins and all this stuff. And then, on the other hand, you have the present self-esteem. So you have the future legacy on the one hand, then you have the present self-esteem, the sort of ego boost you get doing all these different things, the symbolic importance. And the reason why I write the word symbolic there is because these are symbolic constructs. Our worth as an animal and the worth that a non-human creature implicitly attributes to itself and to its surroundings can be more or less figured out in terms of the adaptive uh, or evolutionarily adaptive benefits that that perception provides. Not to say that there's not byproducts of prior adaptations and all kinds of messy things in evolution, what they call the spandrels. But basically, this whole theory says that our anxious awareness of animal insignificance and death comes as a byproduct of developing a larger brain and becoming self-aware. It is not an adaptation, it's not something that is benefiting our survival. It is the byproduct of something that was allegedly tried by evolution to give us some type of adaptive advantage, meaning the solving problem capacities of a bigger brain. And self-deception is because really all these things do not have the meaning and value, objectively speaking, that we attribute to them. You can see obviously this in religion, in the various illusions associated with nationalism, money, and progress. All these things, which are sort of the big, large memes here, produce illusions about our own self-worth and all the other levels as well, all the way down to the day-to-day triviality where I'm proud of really small, tiny stuff. So I think that this is the only theory that really accounts for the bulk of self-deception. And I would like Robert Trivers or other theorists of self-deception to come forth and try to refute this, or try to present an alternative explanation for this quite obviously false attribution of meaning and value that we see in our everyday life.